Hello, welcome to the daily uh, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I know I say it every day. It's true, though. I'm really grateful you're here. Thank you. I'm here 365 days of the year. I would hate to be here alone, and some of you are too, which is awesome. But I know some of you just come and go, and good. If you're watching this on replay, you can go down to the description box beneath the video, and all the questions will be listed there. They're time-stamped, and you can just click on what you're interested in, get out, and whatnot. So I have 8 questions today. You guys have left. Usually I take 12, but I'll read on what I have. Just to let you guys know, if you are asking questions and I'm in the middle of readings, I can't grab them. I need to I've been checking some of my replays, and I really have to focus more on the readings I'm doing while I'm doing them. So if you wouldn't mind, if you have any other questions, just wait till in between readings, and if you could put them in all caps in the chat, that would be awesome. Thank you. And in future, just anything in all caps in the chat before I go live. It's kind of first come, first serve. So. All right. So 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. And Boo Boo has a different Christmas throw to be sleeping under where he is. He's right there, this little lump. And then the lady pillow. It's kind of dark back there, but the lady pillow's back there. So, and the hat. Gotta love the hat. I had a different hat, but it's all brim, like up to here. It's like a shapka. But anyway, I like this one. All right, so here we are. And so excited for me. It's not a real fish, though, because I'm vegan. Well, the cats like fish. But we're pretending that's a catnip fish. That's what that is. So excited. How is it this way? He says. Okay, something like that. Anyway. All right, it just keeps moving. Alrighty, so let me see. Stephen Haggerty says, no, that's a red hat worth wearing. Well, it is. It's December 11th, and I have Christmas stuff, and it's like, well, this is a time to use it. Time to pull it out. Don't know why it doesn't feel very. I don't know. It doesn't feel very Christmassy yet to me, which is odd. But all right, so Greta voting rights. What about them? I think I would need something more specific. But anyway, all right. Let me jump in at 4 minutes in. Thank you, guys. At 4 minutes in, let's have a look. Rhonda had a question. And Rhonda's question at 4 minutes. Okay, we'll okay. Greta is asking, when will they pass voting rights? Okay, thank you. Got it. Okay. My computer's made a noise. I don't even know what it was. All right, at 4:45. Okay, so Rhonda had a question. What does Elijah Cummings feel about Mark Meadows and all he has done for Trump? I'm wondering why Elijah Cummings. Has he said something? Did he say something, back in the day? Was he friends with Meadows? Because if I do a search, no. Mark Meadows gives an emotional tribute to Elijah Cummings. That was in 2019. That's it. Meadows tearfully eulogized. I don't know. But thank you, Kathy Lamson. Him politely saying they were friends. Okay. Rhonda Cox says said they were best friends. Mark Meadows? Really? Okay. All right, sir. Do you have a moment? What do you think about Mark Meadows? Why am I hearing Maya Angelou? Always good to hear her. Just because they're all mad. They're horrified at what this whole coup, what has happened, and okay. Because there's so many people who are mad. So many people who got lip service about they got lip service about how much they were going to help, and they believed in equality and all of this and democracy, and then you have a coup the first chance you get. So sorry I'm having trouble today, but usually I try to be a bit more upbeat. I'm just having some trouble getting some pep in my step. You'd think the hat would, I don't know, I think the hat would do it. Elijah Cummings. He's a good man. He really is. He has lovely, lovely energy. He doesn't want violence. Nope. Doesn't want violence. He was the guy who was talking about good trouble, isn't he? Is that him? So, Mark Meadows. Apparently you two were friends. Three of Wands. I'm getting words like betrayed the country, betrayed his oath of office, victory for the far right. Sorry, Six of Wands, Knight of Cups, Six of Swords, Eight of Wands. Gosh, I wish he was here. I wish Elijah Cummings was here, because he is a force to be reckoned with, and it's all about. Oh, John Lewis was the thing about good trouble. Good, thank you. But this is basically, I'm talking about how these people, if there are not consequences, if they're not serious consequences, this will happen again. That's what I'm getting. It's sad. It's sad that this level of betrayal doesn't really surprise him. And that's part of what just appalls me beyond words, that the stupidity of all of this racial animosity in the world is just, there is no reason on the face of this earth why somebody who has different colored skin from you should have to live in fear that you don't have to live in, should have to expect betrayal in places that someone with this colored skin wouldn't expect it. There's so many awful, truly, truly heinous things about racism. And one of the saddest is just the constant level. All of these little things that aren't so little. Mainly what I get from Elijah Cummings, other than the fact that he's got a beautiful soul, is when it comes to Mark Meadows, he's just, he wants, kind of, maybe he wants to be surprised, but he's not surprised. It's not, when you've been in that fight for all those years, you get to, you learn to expect it. How sad is that? Wow, I didn't think I could dislike Mark Meadows more. But just this resignation I'm feeling of, but I do believe he would like to, if he could, he would love to be publicly speaking about all of this. But you have fought the good fight, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. All right, so I'm getting there. All right, 13 minutes in. Tucker Carlson. Poor little Tuck. Tucker Carlson's son, Buckley. There's something about that name, just like, really? Tucker Carlson's son, Buckley, was in the Capitol building on January 6th. And Tucker says that was his main inspiration for the alternative documentary he made about the day, because what he heard while on the phone with his son didn't match what was being reported. So my question is, how much is the world according to Buckley hurting the rest of us? Because it sounds to me like Tucker heard what he wanted to hear. And it's very possible the fruit of the poison tree didn't fall too far from the tree. And yes, that is Boo Boo right there under the cover. All right. All right, Tuck, where are you? Really? You're going to blame your son? Same way Cruz blamed his kids. Does he really believe this? Does he really believe this? Really? Gina is asking, did his son just join the tour group that was there? No, he's like an intern for, what's his name? It's not somebody we read on here, or that we have read on here so far. But he actually works there. Nine of Swords. Yeah. All those other people were terrified. But Buckley works for a Republican. And if he was an intern, maybe he was back in his office. And if you were in a Republican's office during the riot, depending on where the office was, maybe it didn't seem as bad. It's a big building, although you'd think. Oh, sorry. All right. Yeah, 10 of Swords. People were hurt. 9 of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. I would love to hear what Buckley. I would love to hear Buckley's story. I would love to hear Buckley's story. Did he just, was all of this going on and he would just like somebody else stuck their head out the door or something? Or it's like, oh, we're supposed to lock the door? Was he just, huh? Because, you know, they've had protesters in the hallways of Congress before. They've had sit-ins. Remember when they were trying to destroy Obamacare? And they had sit-ins up and down those corridors, and police had to systematically arrest every person that wouldn't leave. Maybe from his perspective, he didn't see much. But this is also fitting Tucker's narrative. Blame it on the Democrats. Blame it on, tell the wrong story about what really happened. Privilege and selfishness. Reworking the whole story to fit his own ends. So but Tucker really believes that it was, what? Does he think it was a false flag? Suspension. 9 of Swords. I guess I didn't shuffle. So what about Tuck? Is Tuck going to? Does he really believe this? Is this gonna? He's just gonna keep on with this narrative? True, Alan. All paths lead to a very rancid orange. Ding. Bully. Very small-minded bully. That's Trump. That's how he operates. That's how Tucker operates. Yeah, that's what they do. And Tucker has a huge audience, a huge platform. I haven't looked at Tucker's chart in a while. I wonder if I can pull it up quickly. Because, well, hang on. Tucker. Carlson. There he is. He was born on May 16th, 1969, 10:01 a.m. He's 6'1". All right, so here we go. Let's have a look at this. Does he really believe this stuff? What the heck? All right, let me share this. Let's talk about Tucker for just a second here. Oh, wrong one. That is not the screen I wanted. I wanted the other one. Sorry. There it is. Okay. This is Tucker Carlson's chart, and apparently we have a birth time for him. So this is accurate. So he does have this sun-moon conjunction in Taurus. So that's a very practical, it's the first Earth sign, and it's very practical. It is ruled by Venus, and it rules the second house of values and valuables. When Taurians go bad, my gosh, do they become materialists? Just materialistic, just unbelievably. So he's a double Taurus because the luminaries are the most important thing. His ascendant sign here, this is Cancer. This is the big mom of the zodiac. So he presents himself as caring. I know it doesn't sound like it to us, but he cares. He cares for us. He's looking out for us. Rob D saying bullheaded? Yeah. Saturn is also in Taurus. So with his ascendant here, he's got, look at all of this blue. There is all of this energy flowing all around this chart. And how he's presenting it it's just flowing out. Wow. Expanding power down here. Jupiter, this 4 sign, that's Jupiter. Expanding power, that's Pluto. And this is Uranus, the maverick, the rebel. And they're within a few degrees on either side there. So this kind of works together here. And but that's on his south node. This up here is your north node. That's what you're supposed to be doing in this life. He's supposed to be being a lot more sensitive and a lot more caring. But your south node, which was the exact opposite. Your south node is what. It's the past. It's what you, maybe what you know, and think about it. Tucker Carlson, he's all about the past, the perfect white family with 2.5 kids, and he's got all of that power. Expansion, and being the maverick is powering that backwards thinking. That would be great if he was a historian, but he's not. He's trying to set future policies. So he's got this Venus up here. It's what and how you love. It's an Aries. So he loves the individualist. The person who strikes out on their own, a very Ayn Rand, And gosh, it looks like almost everything, and other than this Saturn here, it looks like almost everything in this chart is really connected. So that gives him a lot of power. Plus the luminaries being conjunct gives you a lot of power. Just having a quick look here. He's got a lot of energy flowing right back and forth between his Gemini here, how he speaks, and Mars, which is aggression, which is how you act, how you take action, God of War. Mars was one of the names of the God of War. And they're on a seesaw with each other. So in order for him to speak, he speaks well. That's the symbol of Gemini. It's the sign of communication. But you have to take action. There's always this power, this it's linked, the way he communicates is linked into a certain level of aggression. Plus, I'm trying to see if there's anything else jumping out at me. All right, where's Neptune, which is fiction? It's 27, 25. So it's opposite his sun. What you get this with certain big actors, where they can go into a persona, and then they go back to themselves. Persona, self, fiction, self, fiction, self. I'm glad he didn't get involved in substance abuse, because that can be a weakness, potential weakness. But yeah, just having a look here. I'm not seeing anything between this fiction, Neptune, and communication here. There is no direct connection there. So not like Trump, where they're fighting with each other. It's, at that 90-degree angle. So because Trump's such a liar, Tuck believes what he's saying. He knows it's he is putting on a persona, but obviously I don't put on enough of a persona, because I have days like this where I'm just kind of but he gets up there and he has got the same tone every show. He opens the show with the same tone every night. So Snarky Sassy Pants, I love that name, says the eclipse in November was at 27 Scorpio Taurus. 27 Scorpio Taurus. Oh, okay. Eclipse. Tucker had the eclipse hit his Neptune. Oh. Okay. So Snarky Sassy Pants says the eclipse on December 4th was on Tucker's Mars. Well, that would, I don't know, make him come out with a, isn't that when he came out with the alternative documentary of January 6th? So, yeah. He's backward thinking. Very, very backward thinking. This is not just one big con, like it is with Trump. Everything's, grift co, and Trump grift and Trump grift and Trump grift. You've got Trump University, Trump. It's Trump grift and Trump grift and Trump grift and Trump grift. No, this is it. He really believes. So thank you for indulging me with some astrology there, because sometimes I just want to see the astrology of what are we really dealing with here. And that's kind of a problem with being a true believer. He's not going to change. He's not going to. Doxymom said, is there anything indicating his power will be diminished? Well, I don't have time to look at it astrologically, but I haven't picked up on anything like that. I think personally, I'd love if he would just, go home and roll around in his vault of money like Scrooge McDuck. But page of money. Oh, he's showing his children, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Desert Dawn. 4 of Wands. 7 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Well, when the Trump base, the fiction, when there start being consequences for that, it's not going to look good for him. But they're going to start reporting on, squirrel broke into a convenience store. You know how they do when there's big stuff against Trump. Suddenly on Fox News, it's you know, a Gila monster tried to climb shelves in a grocery store. Raccoons, the duck who snuck in and stole a bag of potato chips and ran out, so they don't have to admit what's really happening. Sandy Miller says it helps figure out the situation to never hold back on the astrology if you think it's meaningful. Good. Yes, GM Dave, Tucker is backwards thinking. Yeah. Yep. Right, Don Gubb, the homeless man who was cold became a lib terrorist, right? Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you guys about. 31. This isn't a reading, or maybe we'll turn it into a reading. The War on Christmas. I'm going to put Xmas because I know that annoys them. Make sure I've got the book right here. Yes, I do have the book right here. Did you guys, the day after, or the night of, it was the day after that homeless man set fire to the Fox News Christmas tree? Did you hear Tucker? He was talking about symbolism of Christmas and our religious symbolism. Dude, Yahshua of Nazareth, he really wasn't wearing the fur hat. Really wasn't. It's German, you idiot. There's a book. This came out years ago. Llewellyn Publications, book by Tony van Rentregem, When Santa Was a Shaman. Ancient Origins of Santa Claus and the Christmas Tree. Yep. There's all kind of great pictures in here. That was a pagan fertility thing I will not show. And mistletoe was sacred to the Greek and Romans, and it's as pagan gets. It really is. They try to put it down to Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas. Have you looked up Saint Nicholas? If you can really put the historical Saint Nicholas and basically Odin together, or I will Yggdrasil. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Forgive me. If you can put those two put that together with a manger and 3 wise men, and that's so. Yeah, Tucker going on about how it's a symbol of Christianity. No, it's a symbol of it's German, and the whole reason. In matter of fact, this used to be mainly this would be green, but it became red because of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola took over, just picked it up as a symbol, and it's the Coca-Cola colors. He traditionally, basically, the old man die, the darkest night of the year, the old wise man dying with the light to be reborn. He'd get the fur stuff on, but it was green or brown, or green and brown. This is, I'd like to have a Coke today. So anyway, when Tucker was just all up in arms about that, it's like we didn't even widely use do anything about Christmas trees until Prince Albert married Queen Victoria. They had a Christmas tree, and it was on a. Didn't even go down to the ground. It was on a table, and it was just above sort of your own kind of average height, and there were just tiny little things underneath it. That was the Christmas tree. It's morphed into this bigger deal. Anyway, just throwing it out there. And the next time these yahoos are on about our Christmas, you mean your Yuletide? Darkest night of the year? Dying of the sun? Yeah. Doxy Mom says, come on, these people believe Jesus was blonde and had blue eyes. No. All right. Oh, yeah. Religion taking over. Yeah. January 25th, birth of the sun. All of this. Yeah. Yeah. Like I always say, not Yahshua of Nazareth, because it's actually closer to what his name was to Jesus. People actually called him. Oh yeah, I'm struggling today. He's not a Capricorn. He wasn't a Capricorn. It's just not. He was not born on December 25th. Everything about him screams Pisces. And he was the fisher of men. Pisces. Fish ruled by Neptune. It's the last water sign. It's the last zodiac sign. One foot on the other side. Institutional religion. But, yeah. Well, Snarky Sassy Pants, in theory, I need maybe a couple more questions, but at the rate I'm just running my mouth, I suppose. We'll see. All right, right now I'm gonna go on to at 38 minutes. We are at Trump demanding. It should be good. All right, 38. Trump demands, Trump is demanding that the GOP not lift the debt ceiling in accordance with Biden's plan. And apparently it says, the actual news from Kristen, thank you, Kristen, is Trump demands undermine unity of the GOP leaders. So McCarthy and McConnell are squaring off on the subject. McConnell knows he's going to have very, very unhappy donors if he doesn't raise the debt ceiling. So he's trying to get the Democrats to do it. It's like, well, maybe we just won't show up and you can do your thing. And then we can blame you for raising the debt ceiling. And, it feeds into our narrative of you of being the tax and spend party. And my understanding is McCarthy is just, he's pulling a McCarthy. So, and now Trump's saying, don't raise the debt. Oh, man. So, and the full faith and credit of the United States is on the line here monetarily. And you're going to listen to the buffoon, huh? Debt limit. Snarky Sassy Pants says, P.S. Venus in Capricorn is conjunct Pluto today. Yes, it is. I should have mentioned that. It 10:28, so about an hour and a half before I came on, it became exact. Strength. Oh, also trying to hush the orange, wrangle the orange beast into being quiet. Knight of Pentacles, so money. Six of Swords, Ten of Swords. McCarthy, you couldn't organize air in a paper bag. You couldn't organize a paint by number painting. You couldn't make that work. Thank you, Pamela Bryan. You're really gonna play chicken with the debt ceiling, really? Seven of Pentacles. Well, we have money. We have lots of money. We're rich. What do we care? You should care because of your investments too. And all right, apparently I was shuffling without picking those up. Okay, definitely not firing on all cylinders today, but oh boy. Debt ceiling. Okay, it's one heck of a burden. Yeah, we're in debt, people. I don't need to tell you that. Democrats are trying to pull things together. All right, this is better. Eventually, they're going to raise the debt ceiling. They just are. I mean, it just is. And McConnell's plan to use it as a messaging thing to help in the 2021 midterms is going to go through, but McCarthy's just he's like a slapstick comedian. You know, he's one of the Keystone Cops. Yeah. So that's the debt ceiling. At 43 then. At 43. Let's say 30. All right. Is Trump basically going to pull the Republican Party apart? As McCarthy and McConnell are squaring off, and Trump is demanding that the debt ceiling not be raised so that we default, so it'll own the libs, hurt Biden. If ever you thought, well, Trump wouldn't do something to destroy the country, you haven't been paying attention. That was a kitty. So Trump, you're going to successfully pull apart the Republican Party more than you already have? Yes, Charles Carey, it is Trump debt. Yes, it is. Six of Cups. Meanwhile, the Democrats are just over there like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Chariot, King of Cups, Page of Cups. You're just giving power to the Democrats. That's all you're doing. You're just keep on flapping your gums, Trumpy. You're giving more power to the Democrats. Between that and the Supreme Court. I mean, if they keep on the way they're going, it won't, but it's like, good grief, are we going to like ban the color red? I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. Thank God for stupid criminals. Thank God for incompetent criminals and people who organize coups. Oh, well. 4530. Ali Alexander. Ali Alexander was, I believe he organized Stop the Steal. He spoke. He was in, there was a deposition, or he spoke to Congress. He spoke to the committee yesterday. Here's the thing: the Capitol police officers have been trying to serve him with the subpoena for quite a while now, because of his actions in organizing the Stop the Steal. He was served with another subpoena after exiting his 8-hour congressional deposition. Thought you could hide from it, huh? Didn't work out so well. And he doesn't have the kind of monetary backing that some of these guys have. The civil lawsuit served to Ali Alexander alleges the defendants, including Alexander and former President Trump, violated the, wait for it, 1871 Ku Klux Klan Act, protecting against violent acts interfering with congressional duties. It's what they're using against, they used against the Charlotte morons, the Tiki Torch morons. You bankrupt them. That's what that's for. So, here's the question. With Ali Alexander, with all of his legal woes mounting, will he finally start singing to save himself? Ali Alexander, will you start singing to save yourself? Because, boy, you're in trouble. Just Rat says bankrupt him. Works every time. You guys know, you know, my Halloween costume was, I was Mrs. Peacock from Clue, with the wrench in the study. And there's a line in that movie where the butler's explaining things and says, you know, the secrets he was getting, what was he doing with them? He was selling them for money. What could be more American than that? And the other character's like, yeah. We're a little materialistic, that's true. But I don't know, it just, our main source of power is in money. It's in the second house. Our Pluto is in values and valuables, especially the valuables part. Hello, Kate. Didn't realize we had Mrs. Claus reading for us today. Oh, don't tell Nick. You know how he gets. So anyway, the 1871 Ku Klux Klan Act, the whole point is to bankrupt when there are hate crimes. And that was the other thing, that a guy on that early morning sit around the stupid couch so women can show off their legs thing on Fox News, Fox and Friends, Fox and women's legs. The thing about the burning tree came up, and one of them was saying, well, it's a hate crime. Why that's a hate crime against us. I don't know whether to beat my head against this scoreboard, but yeah. So, Ali Alexander, you have been subpoenaed in a civil case using a statute that is designed to bankrupt you for doing stupid stuff like this, as an example. So, are you going to start singing like a canary? Justice. He's got lots of legal problems coming. 10 of Wands. I don't know what you did, dude, but 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. This is the Trump dynasty. This is the burden of the far right organizing, carrying for the Trump dynasty. Hanged Man, so suspension. 9 of Pentacles, sitting pretty. Knight of Pentacles. Fighting for the Republicans, fighting going forward. Well, he's going to be in trouble, but I'm not seeing him being able to do much or give up much. He doesn't necessarily he doesn't have necessarily anything new to give up. But he's going to be in big trouble. And he was carrying Trump's water. And the other Republicans, they're just going to go about their way. Who? Huh? What? Bye-bye. Okay. So, at 51:30, 51:30, will the details of Trump's meetings with the January 6th rally organizers on January 4th come to light? Because apparently it's in the news that Trump met privately with January 6th rally organizers at the White House on January 4th. So the January 4th meeting in the White House. And if you guys watched the video of Kanye West's publicist, who was being really just threatening and awful to the election worker. Well, the one thing when I was watching that last night, I'd seen the tapes before, but I wasn't paying close enough attention because I saw it again last night on Chris Hayes' show. And there's real emphasis on, because this took place on January 4th. And that publicist, that woman who was trying to get this election worker to falsely confess to creating ballots out of thin air, that woman said, basically, we have 48 hours. This has to be done in the next 48 hours. I wonder, that makes me wonder how much she was part of a plan, how organized that was too. But all right, Trumpy, meeting with the organizers. Oh yeah, he was willing to listen to anybody. He was willing to more than listen to anybody who had ideas. Michelle Grande saying, News Today GOP and congressmen were all at that PowerPoint meeting. I don't know the specific. I've heard about the power. I was going to read on the PowerPoint stuff, but I don't know the details yet. They're not releasing the actual details. Just an email saying that it basically exists. 5 of Swords, insult to injury. Yeah, that would be Trump. Trump the bully. He wants what he wants. 4 of Swords. 2 of Wands. I'll do the communicating. I'll give the speech. It feels a little bit like the death of the rule of law. Swords are the law. Can be. So will we hear about the details, about rally organizers? The message, the bludgeoning. Oh, and can we talk for just a second? I'll just mention this in passing. The fact that the Justice Department is going after the longest sentence yet for the insurrectionists. Basically, they're going to put someone in jail for having repeatedly bashed a police officer with a fire hydrant. And they are going for, are you ready for this? 5 years in jail. 5 years. Infuriating. Oh yeah, this is where's the money coming from? Sitting pretty, the bludgeoning, the message. Oh, this is planning central. This is it's not even just planning. Planning came before this. This is the actual organizing. We're going to hear about it. Michael Grant says aggravated assault. Man. Oh, hang on. Kristen brought some news. Breaking news, Mark Meadows met multiple times at the White House with retired military officer tied to the insurrection. According to a report from the Washington Post, a retired military officer who was a strong proponent of overturning the 2020 presidential election was welcomed at the White House and spoke with Donald Trump's chief of staff maybe 8 to 10 times. Yeah, I'm with you, Michelle. Treason. Yeah, I agree. Kathy W., not enough. Not enough. Sandy Miller, aggravating is right. I think we are going to hear more about this. All right, 58. Yeah, 58. Renee had a question. 7:45, actually. When the January 6th committee holds hearing sessions in 2022, what will be the most compelling issues and headlines we will hear about? How will this information affect Americans and our country? All right, January 6th committee laying out their findings. What is going to jump out? Oh, I'm quoting the Raven, Michael Grant. Liz. Yeah, you know how we see clips from Nixon, the Nixon hearings and all of this? For into the future, Liz Cheney, right there. It's not going to be just her, but she'll be right there on those tapes forever, protecting the country. I don't agree with her on everything, but I'll give her kudos for fighting for the country. January 6th. Committee information. Wendy Heaton saying 10 years at the very least. I'm with you. Very least. Very least. All right. That's an institution. That's the government. Okay. That was the Hierophant. 5 of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Chariot. Devil. Death. The Republicans won't have a leg to stand on. This is the truth absolutely barreling forward about the devil and death. Wow. Wow. They are coming for you. The level of depravity, the level of selfishness, the level of what they were willing to let happen, how well organized it was. It's treason. And I agree with Chris Hayes. I mean, if you want to get into semantics, it is technically an auto coup because he was trying to stay in power and wasn't trying to seize power from someone who is in over there. But yeah. The hearings, what's going to stand out? That might be Cheney, I'm not sure. 9 of Pentacles, Trump the man. How many people were in on it? Wow, that isn't what these cards say, but it's how many people were in on it. And the extent of it, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. M. Kelpie saying, so 45 wanted anyone who damaged a statue to get 10 years, but bash an officer protecting the Capitol building and only get 5. Yeesh. Jeez. Yep. Michael Grant, on a side note, bring the energy up again for a minute. Edgar Allan Poe was at West Point on an enlisted man's appointment. Had a little drinking problem. Shame. It's true. That's true. I heard I probably told you guys this, but I heard a comedian recently who was saying that she can't hear anything about Edgar Allan Poe, without remembering that we don't know what he sounded like. We have no way of knowing. And he was from Boston. And she said ever since she kind of put that together in her head, now every time she runs across anything from Poe, it's like, nevermore. My dear Lenore. Pit in the pendulum. He probably didn't sound like that, but who knows? We don't know. Nobody said anything. We don't know what he sounded like. But every time I see it now, it's like, nevermore. Katie Arbuckle saying, yes, I decided to look at the chart too. Tucker's or somebody else's? All right. 103. Michael Grant, nevermore with a Bronx accent. No. MLR saying he trained himself as an orator though. That's true. I doubt he sounded like that, but we don't know. He might have had that a little Boston. I mean, he might not have been fully parking his car in the Harvard yard, but maybe a little. All right. 104.15. All right, Renee V had a question, and that was, when will we see an uptick in Biden's poll numbers? Well, the astrology at the moment, if I remember correctly, is he's got some Saturn pressure right now. Not doing him any favors. But that's going to pass away. And in astrology, I know Andre from Astrology Alert was saying that Biden's poll numbers are going to start picking up as we get into certainly spring. Susan Sales says, I will never read Poe the same way again. I know, right? But Biden's poll numbers, astrologically, right now, yeah, he's got a lot of downward pressure on his chart. But next spring, astrologically, it's going to get better. Just pulled some cards to see what else I can find out. But yeah, once people see how destructive the previous insurrectionists were, once we see how bad the insurrectionists were, once there's more and more stuff coming out in court, Biden's going to look better and better. And he should. 5 of Cups. Queen of Cups. Really? Okay. Part of Biden's bad poll numbers. This makes me crazy. This is crazy making. I'm gonna console myself by petting my hat. Part of the problem is that latent racism is causing some people to view Biden negatively who wouldn't otherwise. It's his vice president. That makes me insane. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go full Ren and Stimpy. Stimpy, you idiot. That's Kamala Harris right there. I don't know. I don't like all this Democratic stuff. Yeah, you don't like her. 4 of Pentacles. 8 of Wands. 6 of Cups. Republicans are just kind of stuck. They don't really have anything to offer. And the far right is going to be just going off the deep end because their Fiora is being questioned. And this is the Democrats being in a better position coming up to the midterm elections. So, what I'm getting. It's going to pick up. Someday, racism will not be the issue it is now. That would be a great day. Why? I don't get it. All I have to do is just think about anybody I know. And back in the, I'm sorry, I'm ranting here for a second, but back in the day, if you were Catholic, couldn't have a Catholic president, couldn't have Irish immigrants. Oh, now it's, can't have Latina or Latin, can't have Latin immigrants. They're, according to Tucker Carlson, direct quote, I'm not making it up, you can see it yourself. He said, letting all of these immigrants in who are making our country dirtier. Literally what he said. You racist blankety blank. Anyway. All right. I'll get off my soapbox. 109. Greta had a question. Voting rights. Oh, can we please move on with the voting rights? I think, I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I was getting that it was going to have to wait until there were more Democrats in Congress, but I don't know. Linda McMurtry says, my grandmother was disinherited when she married an Irish Catholic. Oh, no. And apparently it's a running problem in Silicon Valley. People who are coming over from India are severely mistreating each other, certain people, because they're of that horrible caste. The caste system is cropping up in Silicon Valley among Indians. People have come over from India to work there. Teresa Ford, am I the only one here that gets angry at the universe for allowing this evil to exist? It depends how you see the divine. If you believe the divine is all powerful, then yeah, then that would mean the divine would have a reason to let all of this exist. I don't see the divine as being all powerful. I see the divine as being unbelievably powerful. But I've always had a sense of us being like, we are the divine reaching down into the darker, more compact, lower vibration levels to try and raise the vibration here. And we are the ones the divine is reaching out with to raise the vibration here. That's what I get. But at the same time, yeah, you shouldn't live in anger. I don't walk around all day angry. I really don't, and I have no interest in doing that. I got stuff to do. I've got things to create. I'm here to create stuff. That's what I'm here to do. So I'll do that. I don't walk around angry. But anybody who thinks I'm just going to kumbaya with fascists, no. Racist, no. Mm-mm. I'll rearrange my schedule to ridicule racists and fascists. Absolutely. That's worth skipping lunch over. Two of Pentacles. Voting rights. Well, you have to do this. You have to do a little dance. You have to do this and that and the other. And then you can maybe, if you go here and you stand on your head, and then if you do and you turn in that and you've walked around the block 3 times, then maybe we'll let you vote. Corruption. The devil. Ace of Cups. Speaking about reaching down into the darkness, into the low vibration, the high vibration reaching down into the low vibration. This is as rotten as you can get. And this is a cleansing, a clearing, washing away of rot. Thief, yeah, we know they're trying to steal votes to get power in government. This does not feel like, oh yeah, they're going to do a great job. No, this feels he's clutching that. It's mine. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look powerful, but really I'm holding onto this thing really tightly in my arm because it's mine. It's power. I'm not giving it up. That's what that feels like. Here's the other thing. And I'm trying not to harp on about this because I don't want. I'm trying to find the best way to talk about this because I'm not, believe it or not, I know I'm on YouTube, but I don't really go for the like conspiracy theories and clickbaits and I'd rather people were here because the company's nice and maybe they get to see a cute overlay or a hat and some nice nails, some sparkly, and then we talk amongst each other and we vent a little about how we feel about the situation, and we make sure we vote, and solidarity and companionship and camaraderie. I am concerned when I talk about what the Supreme Court's about to do. I don't want it to sound like we're going to have a second civil war. We're not. We absolutely are not. But the country could bifurcate more than it already has between red and blue. If the Supreme Court rules that, oh, it's up to the states to decide, precedent, schmecedent, there's a reason to believe that other states, like California, will turn around and say, okay, then any of you can get a $10,000 bounty anytime, and you can sue anybody who you think has got an illegal gun. And by the way, gun stuff, yeah, you're going to have anybody who doesn't have insurance, gun insurance, anybody who owns an illegal gun or an unregistered gun. Let's do that. And on and on and on until the country, the different states become bright blue and bright red. I do get that. But it doesn't mean we're going to lose democracy. It really isn't. The red side cannot take over the country. They just can't. They don't actually have the numbers. They can try. And this is Pluto return. This is what happens when you get a Pluto return. You get a fight over power. And we're going to get past it. And we're going to be okay. And there is going to continue to be a United States of America. I think we're just going to be a little, maybe in some respects, less united for a while, more, but both sides are still going to say we are American citizens. But anybody who's like, oh my gosh, I'm black and orange, she's saying there's going to be a civil war. Near. Nay, not what I'm saying. No. And I'll go back to my old jokes about my dear Annabelle. We have taken the Starbucks. We have been gathering supplies at the Hobby Lobby. And next we are hoping to have a full battle to take the mall. Not the mall where you walk, the mall where the Sears used to be. It was hard to get past the mall walkers this morning. They were in our way, but we gained ground. But not faster than Linda. Linda was very fast this morning, the mall walker. We couldn't keep up with her, but she got those new tennis shoes. Turned the corner. Down she went past the food court, which is now the feud court. We lost some people at the coffee kiosk. They just gave up, sat down, had a coffee. Anyway, the voting rights. It's going to be an ongoing battle, but we're all going to go out and vote, right? Every last one of us. Yeah, we're gonna go vote. Yeah. No, thank you guys. All right, and then I will, since it's 1:30, I will end today with asking about the PowerPoint presentation. Thank you guys. Michael Grant says I want to vote twice. No. You only get one. All right. So Mark Meadows at 120. Mark Meadows. It's basically Mark Meadows says, "Oh, I'm not working with you people. It's all executive privilege. It's all protected stuff." And then you write this book that you've just come out with, and you just handed us all of this information, all this documentation. You can't do this and say it's executive privilege. You've waived the right to executive privilege with what you did here and what you did there. Well, apparently, part of what he turned over, there is reference to a PowerPoint presentation that apparently has not been released yet, but the actual PowerPoint presentation has been released. But the January 6th committee released this reference to it to show that Meadows is not being reasonable here, not playing fair. And this PowerPoint presentation was about how they were planning on overturning the election. So this PowerPoint presentation, what effect is this going to have? PowerPoint. Do people still use PowerPoint? I'm serious. Do people still use PowerPoint? I'm not saying it doesn't have its uses. I think it's very useful in making videos sometimes. If where you get a thing and you can show a screen showing some stuff, and then you can like make a set of images that you can intersperse in like your videos, like that. That's fantastic. But it's faces. Are we going to see it? Well, let's see. Kristen says, inside the 38-page PowerPoint Trump world circulated to justify the election subversion. Oh, so it is available. Okay, that's interesting reading. Prosecutors. Is this Schiff? That's the card for Schiff. He's the one who's been talking about this publicly the most, at least as far as I've seen. 6 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, just giving just a little. The amount, the sheer amount. We're just talking about one little tiny piece of this gargantuan 3-dimensional thing. Oh, about their big bludgeoning plans. Ouch. 3 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. You've oh my gosh, you are in so much trouble. We've tip of the iceberg about, and you will be held accountable for your insurrection. Let's hope so. Will at 124. For the higher ups, be held accountable legally for the insurrection. Look. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Should be some interesting reading. All right. 124.30. All right, we had this little thing called a coup, C-O-U-P. Technically an auto coup, because Trump was in power. He wanted to remain in power. Okay. That's lots of documentation. That's lots of actions. It's a big story. Seriously, there are already documentaries about January 6th, but my gosh, the series is I think they're gonna try making series out of that day, like a limited series. And a couple of them are just gonna. It feels like the first couple are just gonna be clunkers, but eventually they're gonna get a good writer who really knows what they're doing, and it's gonna be riveting. Even though you know what happens, it's one of those. But it's eventually. The higher ups be held accountable. They were lazy. They just, there was so much that was just widely known. It wasn't even hidden. It was just right there and like right in front of America. Only we were just, it was unthinkable. I remember thinking, why he's got people, he's putting people I've never heard of high up in the Pentagon. He can't do anything at the Pentagon. Well, you couldn't do what he wanted at the Pentagon, but he could do something. That's my going to jail card, going up the river. Strength, quieting the beast. And on the right, fighting amongst themselves, fighting amongst each other. Well, if it means that people are held accountable and sure, fine. You don't have to outrun the legal bear. You just have to outrun the moron beside you, the insurrectionist beside you. Fine. Just keep talking. Donna Belvin says Ken Burns. For what it's worth, that just came to me, and it felt more like much more fictionalized. Not fictionalized. How to put this? Not a documentary. More like if somebody was telling a story about someone trying to overturn the election in the Capitol building on a date. And you'd have this character, this senator, and this House of Representative member, and you'd have this, and you'd have the president over here, and you'd have his chief of staff, and you'd have these police officers and their base of operation, and you end up really caring about them, and they're really the underdogs, and on and on and on. So that's where we are. All right. My career says I'm a burnout. Oh. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for me for today. But thank you so much for being here with me. Been kind of low energy today. Trump would say, low energy. I am today, but I have the cute kitty. I've got the cute kitty. You can't even see him. I have got a fabulous hat. I have to say, I like the hat. The hat one. I'm pleased with the hat. You'll see it again. And you will see me again. You can't get rid of me. Mere 365 days of the year. It is 1:40 p.m. here in Chicago right now. At 4 o'clock, that's Central Time in the U.S., I'll be over at Book Art Media doing creative sprints. You're always welcome. No matter what kind of creative work you do, you are always welcome to come over, and we will encourage you. And other than that, I will be, guess where? Tomorrow, noon, Chicago time, right here. As always, have a wonderful rest of your day. You are not alone. You're not alone. And there are good days ahead. All right, hang in there. Yes, and the lady pillow.